So that's when I started getting the idea of like, man, it'd be cool as hell if I can have a store of suits and like really make it about the experience. I can put you in the nicest suit that's my style, and it could be fitted perfectly. It could be like a really beautiful design, but if it's not your style and then you don't feel comfortable in it, then it ruins the whole look. You're not gonna look good, because the number one thing that makes you feel good and look good is gonna be your own confidence. So that's why I don't care for much for brands, because like you're paying for a suit that was manufactured in a factory, and you know you're just really paying for the brand. Or do you want to spend $1,200 to $1,500 for someone that's going to really get to know you, design something that's custom to you, not just in the way it fits, but to your personality? I know for a fact people feel more comfortable buying from me if I'm dressed the part. Yeah, depending on how busy we are. Like, I know next Friday, like we're pretty booked for the whole day Friday, so it's not a day off for me.
Cool, man. Yeah. So let's get this rolling, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Ralphie and Ryan Show. Mm-hmm. This is your host, Rafael Velasco, aka Rafael the Realtor, with my co-host, the internet sensation, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. And did I tell you this guy is the internet sensation? No.
Well, shit, I just added him on his personal page on his Instagram. He has 4,500 followers, dude.
No way.
I'm halfway behind.
And our very special guest is Ricardo Perez. Ricardo is the founder and CEO of Dapper Club, located on Wabash in the South Loop. Recently relocated to the South Loop. Ricardo founded Dapper Club in 2014 with a vision to make luxury custom clothing with a true gentleman experience. Dapper Club is focused on providing the best experience in suit shopping in the Chicagoland area. I'm pitching you good, bro.
Thanks, man.
Dapper Club has suited up personalities. This is the most exciting part, because you know a lot of these guys I know, and it's exciting to see somebody that's worked with these personalities. He suited up Jesse Vargas, bunch of boxers. Jesse Vargas, Jose Shorty Torres, but he's a UFC, right?
Yeah, UFC. I think now he's with Brave FC.
Yeah. And Abner Mares, Adrian Ganados, a local
guy,
sensation. Yeah. Kevin Gastelum and Yair Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Yair.
Yeah.
La Pantera.
We're from the same hometown.
Oh, are you?
Juarez. Yeah,
Juarez.
Yeah.
He's a beast. Was he training in Chicago for a while?
He was training in Chicago during the time that I suited him up.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I ended up working with him.
Yeah. He's a beast. He's like the next generation of, I know that he's like the next generation of UFC fighters. He does some weird shit.
Yeah, those kicks.
Yeah, coming out of nowhere, right? Yeah.
I feel bad if I get kicked by that guy.
Yeah.
Well, you fitted him good, so I don't think he'll kick you, right?
I'm good for now.
So,
but if I would have messed up his suit, then.
Oh yeah, see, you had some pressure on you, man. I would have been nervous too.
Yeah.
Ricardo, thank you so much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us.
Thanks for having.
We're interested in getting to know you, your business, bro, and see if we can collab, and maybe we can get this guy suited, bro. Maybe you can get me suited. I'm the one that needs the most help, to be honest with you, bro.
Both of you guys. You know?
We need some real suits.
Yeah, you know what? The thing about suits, it's I never, like I told you, like I don't judge anybody by their suits, but I just can elevate that image little.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I mean, there is so what do you think about like first impressions? You know, because we're real estate agents, and you know, like if you know going on a listing appointment, you know, there's some people that you know say that you know if you know you're overdressed or you know you should wear this or wear that, and you know I feel that you know a full suit you know gives a good first impression.
I think that first impression is a very important topic for me. One of the reasons I started wearing suits was because of first impressions. You know, I'm a kid that I was not a good student. I flunked out of college. But I wanted to live a certain lifestyle. I wanted to make the money. I wanted to drive the nice car. I wanted to have the nice house. I wanted to look a certain way. In order for me to be able to get a job to do that, I had to dress for the job that I wanted.
Right.
So first impressions is very important to me. That's the reason why I started suiting up, investing a lot of money into my suits, and that's the reason why I got a lot of good jobs. Because I even got a job as a personal banker based on the fact that I was waiting in line at McDonald's with one of my nicest suits. The guy came up to me. He's like, "Man, where'd you get your suit?" And we just started kind of shooting the shit. and we got along really well. And he just told me, he's like, man, he's like, you have a great personality, like you're good with people. He's like, I have an opening at my bank. He's like, I would like for you to apply for it. Damn. And that's how I got like my first like job where I could wear my suit every single day, you know. So like first impressions mean a lot to me. First impressions obviously, you know, like play into a lot of different areas in your life, you know, whether it's your job, you know, if you're dating, just in general, you know, there's a lot of things that just kind of matter when it comes to like first impressions. So that's a big important key for me. I help people who are looking, they're interviewing for new jobs, so they just want to look top notch, right? I've worked with guys who just recently got divorced and they're just trying to revamp themselves and get it back onto a dating game. And so like I help them with, you know, developing the wardrobe for that. I have people that, you know, they're getting married, and so they want to look the best for that day. You know, for them, you know, wearing a suit that's perfectly fitted for them is like a good way to kind of start their new marriage, you know, because they're giving their best example of themselves to their new partner in life, you know. So first impressions definitely are very important to me.
Dude, and then you look good and then you feel good, right?
For sure.
That's the most important.
No, for sure. I'm a big believer in that, because even myself, there's days, like I told you, Fridays, I kind of take it slow. Like I take appointments depending on, you know, my availability. But Fridays I normally go to the shop in like sweats, a sweatshirt, t-shirt. At home when I'm out, I'm mostly like in sweats and a t-shirt. And so I don't feel my best. And if I'm working when I'm in sweats and a t-shirt, it's just like a completely different guy.
Man. Same way.
Like it's crazy. But as soon as I put on a suit, like I'm Wolf of Wall Street. Like
there you go.
Making my calls and like, you know. So it definitely affects the way that you feel and the way that you work, for sure. Yeah.
So what got you here, man? You always wanted to be a tailor? What?
So my evolution and how I got here is quite interesting. Like I can't say that 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago that I imagined myself doing this. Absolutely not. I didn't even know this existed. But I could tell you like what my interest started from. I started playing music in the 5th grade. Like I told you guys, I'm not a fan of school whatsoever. I could try to find any excuse to get out of class. And so the band teacher at the school walked into the classroom and he's like, who wants to get out of 9th period class? Of course, I raised my hand, and then he's like, cool, like we're looking for new band members. And so I did it. You know, I went into band. Little did I know I was pretty gifted in music. To this day, like music is my number one passion. I've been able to compose music for a whole band and have it performed at an orchestra level. So that's always been like my number one passion. So I was getting out of class, but little did I know that I found my passion. And so I started off playing trumpet. That's like my main instrument. I've taught myself how to play piano, guitar, bass, drums. So I've had multiple bands throughout my whole childhood. But that's what really got me into getting dressed better, because after that I started playing a lot more classical. I got a lot more involved in jazz. And of course I fell in love with Frank Sinatra's era. So I'm like, man, that guy dresses sharp. He wears the nicest suits. Like he's always having these fancy dinners. He's living a life. And I fell in love with the lifestyle.
The Rat Pack.
Yeah, for sure. And so I wanted to dress that way. And so even in a young age, I started buying dress clothes. I started buying ties, dress shirts. And of course, you know, I definitely wanted to be a ladies' man. So I wanted to make sure I looked good, you know. So that for sure, like I had to focus on the way I dressed. Because I was a geeky kid, man. But you know, hopefully the way I dress could attract the girls.
Bro, you don't look like you ever were geeky.
Nah, dude, I was the definition of a band geek. Yeah.
What kind of music do you listen to now?
You know what? Now I listen. My girlfriend says I'm a jukebox. Like I can
listen to anything.
Yeah, I listen to like yesterday we were listening to like Hall & Oates. I'm actually really proud of the girls because they're requesting Queen all the time, and that's like a big accomplishment as a parent. Listening to good music. She's like, Dad, put Queen. I'm like, all right, cool, I got you. So I'll go like from like Hall & Oates, Queen. This is what's recently been on my playlist. Marilyn Manson, Slipknot. I listen to a lot of classical music in the morning, jazz at night. But my biggest genre right now is like Spanish alternative. I listen to a lot of Spanish music.
Really?
Alternative rock, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like some good stuff.
What's the genre called? in Spanish?
I would say, I don't know, música alternativa and rock.
What's a good band that we can look up maybe?
Actually, one of my favorite bands in the Spanish music is Zoe. That's what I named my daughter after that band.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
Dude,
so you're really passionate about it then. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
bro, you're deep in many different aspects.
Yeah, so that's how I started off, man. I started doing music. I fell in love with the genre of jazz, and I wanted to dress that way. Then I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. Like, I didn't have a career. Like, I didn't have a dream job where I wanted to be a lawyer or a dentist or whatever, you know. But one thing I was really always, I was always very patriotic, especially after 9/11. Even at the time I was probably like in 5th grade. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've always been pretty patriotic. I like a lot of war movies, and I always wanted to make a difference. And so I wanted to join the military. And I've always wanted to join the Marines. I looked up, did my research on the branches, and the Marines were the best ones. And so I've always been very competitive, and I want to be the best of the best. And so I put that thought on hold because I just didn't want to upset my parents. My parents really wanted me to go to college. So I kind of dropped the thought. But then senior year came, and I had like a 1.8 GPA. I was like barely about to graduate. I think I was like missing like half a credit. And, you know, I was like, man, you know what? A Marine recruiter came to the school, and I did it. You know, I signed up for it. My dad signed for me. I was 17 years old. And, yeah, I'm really glad I did. It taught me a lot of discipline. And that's where I got my attention to detail, especially for the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps has the best uniform in all the armed forces. So your uniform has to be on point. Like, even the ribbons that are on your jacket, there's, like, measurements for that, like an 1/8 of an inch off, you know, whatever. And so that's where I got the detail of tailoring. So after the Marine Corps, when I came back, I went to school. I was in school for a year. I did pretty good at the first half, but then at the same time, I got like an apartment that was way too expensive for me. I was a young kid. I made a mistake of getting in a place that was too expensive for me. So I had like a job, and then I started working like overtime, started working my hours instead of going to class, and then I ended up flunking out, you know, because I was missing class a lot.
How long were you in the Marines?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And then after the Marines, then you decided to go to school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Wait.
during that time, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the suit comes from military, right? I mean, it transcends different cultures. I mean, you can go to Russia and they wear suits, right?
Yeah, for
China,
sure.
they wear suits.
It comes from royalty, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but then they started getting applied to military for sure, like especially with the dress uniforms. But yeah, so I went to school, and then I just flunked out, and at that point, that's when I realized like I can't go back to school. Like, I can try as hard as I can, but I'm just not gonna focus on it. Like, I know
Right.
it's not for me. And so that's when I started realizing, like, what can I do for a living that's gonna make me the money that I want to live. I want to live that lifestyle of like having nice dinners, having a nice house, having a nice place. But like, how am I gonna do that without a college degree? And entrepreneurship wasn't like a big focus at that time, so I didn't know too much about it. And so the first thing that came to my mind, I have to look like I can do like a high-end job.
Right.
And so that's when I started investing in buying suits. I started investing into tailoring. Like, everything I learned in the military about how my uniform is supposed to fit, I applied to my personal style. And while I was doing all this research of how like suits should fit and what you should have in your closet to appear to be successful, I started learning a lot of things. And so a lot of that stuff, a lot of that knowledge that I was learning, I was posting it on Facebook and Instagram. And so naturally, I just developed a following of people that were appreciating the knowledge that I was spitting out, and that gained their trust. My last job, I was working at AT&T in sales. I learned a lot from sales as far as like customer service and how to take care of clients, which was something that I apply a lot into this business. And yeah, I just, during that time, you know, I was going through like a really hard point in my life. Like, I was like, I've hit rock bottom twice, and that was one of them for sure. During the time I was in a relationship, it was kind of going to shit at the time. My parents were going through separation. You know, they were going through their own problems. I was partying a lot. I was doing like a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs, and because of that, I was coming into work late. I was coming into work sometimes fucked up, sometimes still on drugs. Like, you know, it was crazy. And
This was at AT&T?
yeah, it was
How old
like
were you?
AT&T.
You're 4 years out, so you were probably, what, like 23?
22,
20?
21, 22,
Okay.
22 years old. Yeah, so I just turned.
So
you
the
know.
normal
Yeah,
20.
the normal stuff, yeah. But then, it just started affecting me a lot in my work life, and you know, I got like a final warning, and at the time I was at AT&T, like I was making like $70,000 a year because it's
Pretty good for a young kid, right?
Dude, like too good, you know, because then you have all that money and I just spent that on a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's why I was partying so much. But yeah, so it came to the point where, like, you know, I got a final warning and they were like, well, this is your last chance. If you mess this up, like, you're done. At that point, I had like a 2-bedroom condo that was like real nice, had a nice car, and I'm like, fuck, if I lose this job, like, how am I gonna pay for these expenses, you know? So that's where, like, I turned my switch around and I started like really dedicating myself. I became a really good salesman there, making more money, and but then, like, still, like, I was like getting into trouble. I was still going out and partying, but I was just toning it down a little bit. Yeah. And then at the time, I was a brawler too, so I would always get into like fights. You know, that's why I like boxing so much.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's probably why you watch boxing all the time.
So me and my brother ended up getting arrested for some dumb shit, and because I got arrested, I think we got arrested on a Saturday night, so the judge couldn't see us until Monday morning, and so I ended up missing work, and that was it. That was it for me. So I got let go at that point. They told me, they're like, you know what, we're gonna let you go, like, you're getting let go, but if you resign, you can file, reapply in 6 months. And so I'm thinking defensively, right? Like, I want to keep this job because I'm making this much money. I'll suffer for 6 months, you know, somehow I have savings anyway, so I didn't really care, and I'll come back to it and it'll all be fine. Like, I'll mature and like not fuck up again. And so in the meantime, I was like, you know, I'll just get like another gig in the meantime. I was applying, and like I applied at T-Mobile, I applied at Comcast and American Spirit, like an account executive. And I got through the whole interview process and everything, and it came down to like the drug test and like the background check. And then of course I failed the drug test, and then my background check didn't clear. So I'm just like, fuck, like I don't know what else to do. And I got to that point where, you know, I was going through a lot of personal shit. I couldn't get a job, and during my time at AT&T, that was when I started like posting a lot about like fashion and stuff, and I developed the following. And then one of my coworkers told me, like, hey, my dad is a vendor for off-the-rack suits. So that's when I started getting the idea of like, man, it'd be cool as hell if I can have a store of suits and like really make it about the experience, where people come in, have a drink, maybe get their hair cut, their shoes shine, like, you know, some manly, you know, a manly store, right? And so I got that idea, and that's what I wanted to do. And at the time, I was also helping people shop for their own wardrobe, because I was posting out so much stuff. People would be like, hey, can you help me pick out my next suit, or help me, you know? So I was doing that like as a hobby.
Yeah.
And then when I got let go, I was like, you know what, bro, can you hook me up with your dad? I'm gonna start selling suits on the side. And so that's how I started. So my first 6 months of business, you know, I started Dapper Club. I think I was at home drinking wine, watching Ocean's 11 or something. I came up with the name.
That's a dope name, actually, bro. That's a really dope.
You know what? I came out of the blue, man. Yeah, so so I started selling suits online. And so a lot of the stuff that I was doing when I started Dapper Club was like house calls and office calls. So I would go to people's offices, go to people's houses. I had like a little catalog that I would show suits. And then I was running into the same issue that I was running into when I was helping people shop. When guys tried on suits, it doesn't fit them the right way. And even then, as I was getting to know the person, I was envisioning them wearing something specifically, because everybody has their own personal style. People have different things for fun. People have like their own personality. And so what I'm going to wear is not going to be what you're going to wear.
Right.
Or what you're going to wear. So everybody has like their own individual style. So then I started thinking like, man, these suits don't fit them because everybody has a different body. And then they should be wearing this because of this kind of person that they are. And so for me to be able to find that, the time that it took to find that, if I found it within their budget, and then for it to fit properly, was like slim to none. You know, it was really difficult. So I was like, man, I wish I could design my own suits and make them for people specifically for them according to the measurements. After working with a couple of different tailors, one of the tailors told me about custom suits. He's like, one of my clients sells custom suits. So I went and I got my first custom suit through this place, and I didn't have the best experience. Was the product good? For sure. Do I still have the same suit? Does it fit well? Has it lasted? Yeah, for sure, because I invested in good quality. But just like when I walked in, I felt like I was like a number. You know, they were just trying to make the sale. They kind of let me pick out whatever I wanted. And just, during that whole time, I was like, man, I could do this way better. So I started doing my more research, and then that's how I got into custom clothing. So it's been a trial and error. Like, you know, this is something that you definitely can't go to school for. You know, a lot of people that have worked in this business, they've worked in a company before that does this. And so they've been trained and taught the whole strategy and the whole knowledge about suits. But I wasn't. Like, I had to learn literally by myself by trial and error.
What's the best way that you've learned? Is it mostly internet, or is it looking or talking to other tailors, or?
A little bit of everything, you know, for sure. The number one thing is definitely talking to my clients.
Clients.
Whenever they try something out, like asking their feedback, like, how do you feel?
Yeah.
How does it, you know, what could I do better?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, my clients.
So going back a little bit, you said that different clothes for different body styles and different personalities. Could you explain that a little bit? Like, what you said, you obviously talk to your clients before you guys pick out suits, right, and fabrics and stuff. What is that process like? What are you trying to get to when you're talking to your clients?
So it just depends, right? So, like, you know, my consultation is about an hour and a half. And, you know, I spend like the first 30 minutes getting to know my client, because at the end of the day, and this is a good example with both of you guys here. You guys are both realtors, you know, but you guys both have different styles, you know. And so, like, what he would wear, you probably wouldn't wear it. And so I have to be able to understand that. At the end of the day, I can't try to sell you something that I'm producing. I'm trying to put you in something that's going to be comfortable for yourself, because at the end of the day, I can put you in the nicest suit that's my style, and it could be fitted perfectly. It could be like a really beautiful design. But if it's not your style and then you don't feel comfortable in it, then it ruins the whole look. You're not going to look good, because the number one thing that makes you feel good and look good is going to be your own confidence. You know, even for myself, for example, I was at my business partner's wedding last year, and I had to wear like a really loud, like burgundy-ish suit that was like bright and like a lot of pattern. And it was nice. It was a beautiful suit. Everybody likes all the suits and everything, but that's not my style. And so that day I didn't feel like 100% myself, you know? And so that's why it's really important for me to be able to meet my clients and meet what their goal is. So I have some realtors that I work with, right? That they strictly like to work with investors and developers. And so they're a little more laid back, you know? And so that for them, it's important to have a really well put together business casual look. But then I also work with realtors that all they deal with is the high-end clients that buy these penthouses and these $1 million condos or whatever. And so for them, they have to look like $1 million.
Yeah.
And so that's really understanding the person and what they do and what they're trying to accomplish. Especially for salespeople. Salespeople are the ones that really invest in custom clothing because they have a certain image to appear to. Because first of all, you have to think about who's your client. You know, who are you trying to represent? How are you trying to be perceived? And that's the most important thing that you can translate in custom clothing. Like, you can, if you're trying to appear to like more of like a middle class everyday home buyer that's trying to buy like a dream home, then you kind of want to tone it down a little bit, right?
Right. You don't want to be intimidating.
Right, but at the same time, you're probably doing a lot of showing, so you want to be comfortable. So you want to make sure that the suit you're wearing is comfortable, right? But you also don't want to be too intimidating, right? But then you have your client that, you know what, I want to dedicate my time to just high-end clients that buy penthouses, that buy like the most expensive properties. Then you got to look that way, because at the end of the day, perception is reality.
It
you know,
is.
your clients are going to view you a certain way depending on how you dress. Even for me, like, there's times that I sell suits and like sweats, you know, but, you know, it's because I already built my credibility to that point. But at the same time, I know for a fact people feel more comfortable buying from me if I'm dressed the part, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
tell us a little bit about your spot, man. I know that you're primarily focused on the experience, right? Like you said that you helped people shop previously, and you were trying to gather it up in an experience in your shop.
Yeah. So as of right now, like I as much as my business is also as my locations. So I started off doing house calls and office calls the first 6 months. Then after that, I got like a studio loft at the Bridgeport Art Center, which was cool because it was a little more private, but then it was like too much of a shared and open space that it just didn't create that luxury experience when you walk in.
Right.
Then after that, I partnered up with my buddy Sebastian. He owns Mark Nolan Shoes. So they were located in Wicker Park. He had a storefront already. Actually, I was buying shoes from him since like high school because they were like good price and they were nice shoes. And then one time I walked in there, and he told me, he's like, "Oh, you're the guy that sells suits." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know." He's like, "You should display some of your suits here. Maybe my clients will buy suits, and then you can get your clients to buy shoes." And so at the time I was at the Bridgeport Art Center, and then I was working in Logan Square, and so like the commute for me was like I was working a lot. Because as I was saying, so like I started Dapper Club, but then like 6 months later I got the call to come back to AT&T.
Okay.
And so during the time, when I started the business, I was gonna go like all in with the business. Like my relationship had ended already.
Yeah.
And like a month and a half into the business, right, she calls me. She's like, "I'm pregnant." And I'm like, "Holy
Oh,
shit!" I'm like,
no.
Yeah. So like now I really gotta hustle, you
Yeah.
know. So that played a big factor into a lot of things. But so like 6 months after I started the business, money was getting tight for me for sure, and I had a kid on the way. So then when I got the call from AT&T to come back, then I was like, oh, for sure, like I'll work, you know. So I was working full time there, and then doing the business on the side. So I was like taking appointments from like 8 o'clock to like 10 o'clock, and then I would work from like 10 to 7, and then from like 7 to like 10 o'clock, I was taking more appointments.
How long was that? That just like 6 months? How long was it until you transitioned fully into Dapper Club?
So the first 6 months I did by myself, like just solo, and then I worked a full year at AT&T, and then after that I transitioned full time into Dapper Club.
Right, but you were when you started, you said that you were selling them online at first, right?
I was selling them, like I was advertising them online.
Oh, okay,
But
all right. I didn't know if it was like an
But I was
e-commerce type deal.
But I was working like appointment based. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So then after, so I worked at AT&T for like a full year, before I went. So 6 months by myself, then a full year at AT&T, and then I went full time into Dapper Club, and I've been full time ever since on Dapper Club. But so during that time, it just made a lot more sense for me to move closer, like a location, because I was going to Bridgeport, then back to the north side, then Bridgeport afterwards, and then back home. Like it was just crazy schedule. So his store is located in Wicker Park, which was about like 7 minutes away from my job. So I was like, you know what? Is it cool if I do like some consultations here? And then he was like, yeah, it's cool. So then I would just take my consultations there because it was a lot closer for me. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? It just makes more sense for me to just close the other location down. And there was like another spot that opened about like 4 stores down from us. And it was a lot bigger. And he was like, you know what? How about we just go in on this together and share the location? I'm like, for sure. So then he closed that spot up, and we opened up the new location. And that's where I was at for like 3 years, which is like really cool for like a startup, because you're partnered with another business that complements your brand, and at the same time you don't have to take all the costs up front.
Yeah.
So he definitely sent business my way. I definitely sent almost every customer that bought suits, would buy shoes with it.
Is that how you built up your clientele? Was off of your friend Sebastian and his store, or did you already? Well, I know you said like your Facebook and stuff like that. You already built your presence in that area, but like, where did you start? Like,
You're talking about like storefront. How much does storefront really matter for a business like yours?
From business, it doesn't matter at all.
Doesn't matter at all.
There's a lot of custom clothiers that don't even have a location. They just do office visits. It's all they do. And it's good for them to do that because they limit the overhead.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I can be a custom clothier that just, there's a sales guy that works for myself. I can make a good living just doing it by myself. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build something bigger than that. And that's why I created. That's why it's not Ricardo Perez's Custom Clothes. That's why it's called the Dapper Club, because I'm building a brand, and hopefully I can develop more salespeople and just create something that's a lot bigger. Have multiple salespeople in the Chicago area, have a location in Los Angeles, have a location in Miami, and kind of grow the brand. And it's not really about Ricardo. It's more about the Dapper Club.
Right.
I'm trying to, hopefully in the future I can just kind of phase away from that, not have to work as much, but yeah, so it doesn't really play that much into the success of like a custom clothing business, because it's all really about the experience. So although I got good business from Sebastian, but I definitely, this business it's like any other sales business. It's all about calling, prospecting, so my biggest thing, my biggest strength was social media. So I developed really good content from the beginning. Was constantly posting value to my audience. And then on top of that, I was reaching out to people. So I was sending out probably like 50 to 100 messages a day to like different people to like tell them about my business and try to bring them in. And so like gradually just, it grew from there.
on all platforms or
On all platforms, so like Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
okay.
I never mess with Twitter. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't even have a Twitter.
Yeah,
so.
I have one, but I haven't used it in years. You know.
So the same pages you have right now, the Dapper Club Inc. and Mr. Dapper, those are the pages that you've just always had. You haven't had other.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
always, yeah.
Okay.
So you were talking about scenes, right? You were talking about how L.A. and New York are pretty much the fashion.
Yeah, for sure.
Capitals, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think Chicago lies in it, and can it be? Could it ever be?
It
I mean,
could
this is
be.
where Marshalls was at, right?
It could be in the
Sears?
future, but like you know that you know what? I love Marshall Fields. I don't like Macy's.
Why?
Same clothes. It's the same clothes, it's the same layout, but the experience is different. Marshall Fields was more intimate. It wasn't a big corporation, and so I don't know if it's just me, but like I feel like when I walked in there, I was taken care of better by the employees. I don't know if it's because like you know it was a smaller, it wasn't like a big corporation,
Right.
so it just the experience mattered. But I love the concept of Marshall Fields. Like it's like you walk in, you got a lot of people that just want to cater to you, and like the place is super nice. So like Marshall Fields, like the last thing that happened good, like when it came to retail here in
Yeah.
Chicago. I hate brands in general, like big brands that.
Yeah.
And that's what I get with like clients. Sometimes clients come in, they're like, "Oh, why I buy a Hugo Boss suit, or I buy this, I buy that." I'm like, "Cool, like it's cool that you bought $800 worth of suits or $1,000 worth of suits,
Right.
but you're paying $800 to $1,000 for a suit that was that was manufactured for the masses, that was not designed specifically for you. So this suit." If I'm gonna guess you're probably like a 48 regular in the suit size, and you're probably like a 38 or 36, but not every person that's a 48 regular is gonna fit the same.
Yeah.
My business partner, for instance, he's a 52 chest, which is a huge chest. The average person that's a 52 chest is gonna be like a lot bigger right here. That's naturally,
Right.
but he's actually like just like he's just a swole guy, and he has a smaller waist. So
Yeah.
if he tries to buy something that's in his size off the rack, it's not gonna fit him at all. So that's why I don't care for much for brands, because like you're paying for $800 to $1,000 for a suit that was manufactured in a factory,
Yeah.
that was made for the masses, and you know you're just really paying for the brand. Or do you want to spend $1,200 to $1,500 on, which is like my average suit, for someone that's gonna really get to know you, design something that's custom to you, not just in the way it fits, but to your personality, offers you a drink when you come in, really gets to know you, and like really meets your needs, and treats you like, you know, gives you your undivided attention, you know. And a lot of people will pay extra for that, you know, for that experience.
Definitely.
And so like as far as like New York and LA, as far as like fashion, they're very advanced. They're a lot more bold, and they're not afraid to wear different things. Chicago is just a lot more conservative, and you know, I don't want to change that, but I do want to give it like a twist, you know. So that's why like a lot of my clothing, like I do more classic and timeless pieces, but I give it some kind of twist so it just to stand out from the rest of the competition.
Uniqueness, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Something
Unique.
that says Dapper.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the most important thing for me. If I walk
Yeah.
into a room, like I can tell that's a Dapper Club suit.
Dude, there's a.
You would be able to do that?
Oh, for sure. I walked into a room before, and like 50% of the suits are mine.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a pretty accomplished moment. Like I felt accomplished at that.
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
That's
God.
awesome. I there was a dope suit that you fitted Jesse Vargas with, that blue one. I probably would not be able to rock. I don't know. But
Yeah.
that's a dope suit, man. That's a really nice.
Well, the boxes in general, they're in press conferences, so they have to stand out. you
Yeah.
know? They have to go a little more bold.
Who's the best dressed when it comes to combat sports?
Man, anybody suited up by Dapper Club.
Boom, there it is.
Actually, there's a video of Adrian Granado's his opponent Sean Porter was stopped in the middle of the press conference to give him props on his suit.
Really?
Yeah, he's like
Did he shout you out?
no, he's like before I say anything, he's like, Adrian, I gotta tell you, man, that's a nice suit. You know?
And
That's
dude,
awesome,
coming
dude.
from him, because he's always suited up too, right?
He's suited up, but I just don't like his suits at all,
Yeah.
man.
Why not?
They're just too crazy. You know,
Too out there?
Too much?
That's taking custom to a different extreme. Like,
Well, some people like to stick out, and you know.
it's like saying you can build your own pizza and then you just put every single topping on there just because you can, you know? That's what it feels like. You have to
That's
do it
awesome.
tastefully.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I give him props for going custom with his suits, but for sure, like, I definitely put a lot of effort into suiting up my boxers to make sure they're the best dressed. Because, like, in general, I'm a big boxing fan. So, when I started, my first boxer I started working with was Adrian, and it meant a lot to me. Yeah. Actually, for his first fight, I got to walk out to the ring with him.
Really?
Oh, dude.
So that was like one of the best experiences.
That's awesome, man. How did you get Adrian?
I messaged him on Facebook.
He's from Cicero, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How did the message like roughly go? How would you just reach out to somebody like that?
You know, I just started noticing that he was gonna fight Adrian Broner, and like I said, I keep up with all the fights, and so I found out that he was from Chicago. So I was like, I'm gonna add him on Facebook. Surely enough, he accepted me. And then I just messaged him on Facebook. I'm like, hey, bro, like, I know you're fighting Adrian Broner pretty soon. Like, I would love the opportunity to switch you up for the press conference and make sure you're the best dressed there. And then he's a super down-to-earth guy. He's a super cool guy. We met up, and like, we hit it off really well. And I suited him up. He got a lot of attention for it. I did, like, a photo shoot, a video shoot for him, too. And then from there, we just became really good friends. And been suiting him up ever since.
That's cool.
And then from there, other boxers started following me too, and like I would notice that they like my pictures and stuff. So I was like, all right, you like my picture, I'm gonna message you.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then after that, I started working with like Jesse Vargas, and then from there I worked with Abner Matis, and then in the mix I worked with Jose Torres, Yari Rodriguez, and Calvin. Yeah. But they're all really cool guys. I was just talking to Jesse a couple of days ago. About like what he wants for his next suit, so they're super cool guys. Yeah,
nice, man. So what got you interested in boxing, bro? I know you're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of runs in our blood a little bit, right?
For sure it is. Yeah, like my whole family loves boxing actually. Yeah. So like since I was a kid, my dad loved soccer a lot, so he always tried to put me in soccer teams, but I would always get in trouble at the soccer games. I was
boxing it out, bro.
King of red cards, man. King of red cards. And so I was always getting into trouble, and so they put me as goalie at the end because I was like the less, like the
keep
least,
you away from everybody.
And I was still getting in trouble there. But I naturally always told my dad, I'm like, I want to do boxing because my family is always watching boxing like all the time, like my uncles, my dad, all of us. And I just fell in love with the sport, and then it got to the point where like my parents were like super strict. I grew up with a family of 6 kids, and so my parents were super strict. They never let us out unless like we're going to school or throwing out the trash. So me and my brother, like on our off time, like we would just grab like beanies, stuff them with socks, wrap one around us, and then we would just box it out. And then my mom would always come downstairs and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" And we would just take them off and like try to hide everything. But like just naturally, I've always
you were drawn to it.
Yeah, I always liked boxing. It's a good, I don't know, it's a great sport. I love the science of boxing, which is like the same reason why I love tailoring so much in suits because. I don't like. Yeah, I love the outcome of it, but I just appreciate the craft a lot. And in boxing, that's why I get upset with a lot of people because people get unhappy with like certain fights because there's not enough action, not enough like knockouts or whatever. But they don't pay attention to like the science of boxing.
The sweet science.
Yeah, the sweet science and the preparation it takes up to go, to a fight. And that's what I love about boxing.
Yeah. Do you practice it at all? I mean, do you?
You know what? When I try to stay in shape, like right now, I'm trying to get back in shape.
Yeah.
A little heavy set, but the best way I get easily bored with regular workouts. So my favorite way to work out is boxing.
Yeah. Even jump rope, or you try to jump rope for like 5 minutes,
or you have to send them that link for that ball that you bought.
Oh,
this guy has a freaking ball that he wraps around his head. Yeah,
how is that?
The Lomachenko, whatever. So they got two balls. They got a red one and a red one and a black one. I started off with the black one. It took me like 3 days to.
What's the difference?
Well, one of them, the elastic is different. So the red one comes back at you fast.
Oh, yeah. That's the pro one.
Yeah, it's the pro one. Dude, if it's lined up, it can give you a black eye for sure.
How good are you at it? Are you good as Lomachenko?
How heavy is
the ball? Dude, he rocks out with that thing.
It's light. I'll show it to you before you leave.
Yeah. You should demonstrate it on camera.
But I'll tell you what it is, dude. It keeps you engaged.
Yeah, for sure.
And by the time you're done with it, you're like, dude,
that's
your
probably like
shoulders are killing
That's
you.
probably like a good stress reliever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So when you're pissed off or stressed out, you just put that shit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look funny doing it though, but so that compensates for what, like the speed ball?
I think it's for
eye
location. right?
coordination.
Eye coordination, yeah.
Eye hand coordination.
Lomachenko also does another one where he does he slaps lights and numbers. Have you seen that one?
Oh no, I haven't seen that one. No.
He's like very unique on his training like strategies or whatever. And I think that kind of came from him because it was originally a tennis ball, like a real tennis ball that he was.
I've seen Amir Khan like with the bottles, like water bottles, where he'll like hit and flip the water bottle.
Yeah.
You seen that before?
No.
He makes it spin and then and then he knocks it out.
Knocks it out at the end.
Yeah.
Damn.
Super talented people because people don't realize that people think that it's a brutal, and it is, right? It is a brutal sport, but there's a lot that goes to it. There's so much.
Like people hate Mayweather, but that guy prepares for what he brings. Like, you know.
Hey, how many Mayweather fights did you pay for, hoping that he'd lose?
You know what? I'm actually a big Mayweather fan.
Are you really?
Yeah. You know what? A lot of people, hate his style of fighting, but at the end of the day, like, I gotta respect a winner. Like, he does what he does to win, and of course, like, I wish there was like it was more action packed, but like what I appreciate about him in his fights, like when I watch like the replays, are like the times where like people will do like a 6-punch combo. And he literally misses every single one. And to be able to do that, that's crazy. Like, I respect that. And the guy hasn't lost. But do I like him as a person? No. But just as a boxer, like, there's a lot of people that can learn from him. And that goes into, like, with Canelo. I feel like Canelo has learned a lot from him. I think, like, Canelo's, like, a better version of Mayweather. Yeah. Because I don't know if you've seen, like, his last couple fights, but his defense is just, like,
I don't know,
impenetrable. Like, it's on a different level. Like, I can't even... and on top of that, he brings the power. He brings, the excitement to the fights. He's gotten like he's become like a little bit of a diva, but aside from that, I'm just saying like the boxing part of it, it's.
So how would you consider a Canelo? Because he's pretty well dressed, right? What do you think about his style?
Yeah, you know what? I like his suits. They're well fitted. Some of them are a little too tight for my liking. But he's got pretty nice suits. Yeah. For sure.
Like.
Conor McGregor has really nice suits.
Yeah.
They're just way too tight, though. Like, I can't imagine myself wearing suits like that.
That's got to be the most infamous UFC suit of all time.
The fuck you suit?
The fuck you suit, right? Yeah. I mean, that shit went viral.
Yeah.
That shit went viral as hell.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a good spin on the pinstripe.
For sure. Yeah. Was he the first one to come out with that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or is that something that's happened before?
No, he's the first one. After that, people started making that fabric. Yeah, it's available to us too, but I just haven't had someone bold enough to do that. And I'm not bold enough to do that either.
Yeah. I mean, who else could rock it?
At that point,
it's definitely a fighter. Yeah.
At that point, you're just copying.
I mean, it's not really custom anymore either.
Yeah.
So.
And then in business, it would have to be like Warren Buffett or something.
I could imagine us going on a listing appointment with a fuck you. Like,
you lose.
You want to list my house? Fuck you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess the reason that I mentioned Mayweather, because I remember in high school, Mayweather like beat up a bunch of like awesome Mexicans. He was in the same era with a bunch of like awesome Mexican fighters and like defeated them all. And that kind of defeated them, like made them look
bad,
amateur.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, after that, I mean, now I respect him now that it's over or whatever. But at the time, bro, I was buying fights just to hope that he loses.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna shut him up.
When did you stop paying for him? Like Pacquiao?
I didn't. I even paid for the Pacquiao. So here's a question for you, Ricardo. Would you pay for a Mayweather Pacquiao 2?
Oh, would I pay for it? Yeah, I would pay for it.
You would?
But it's just because I want to watch it.
Just you just enjoy it. Yeah, well, that Zone, do you have that Zone app? Do you have to pay for it, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's like $10-15 a month, and you get like all the fights.
Oh, so you wouldn't have to pay like pay-per-view or anything like that, right?
Yeah, but Mayweather's not signed with the Zone.
Oh,
Canelo is. So Canelo got that he got like
huge contract,
$365 million for a 10 or 11 fight deal.
Yeah.
Damn. So any Canelo fight, if you have the Zone, you can watch it on there. But Mayweather, you gotta pay pay-per-view. I would pay it. You know, it's the funniest thing. I told you my family loves boxing.
Yeah.
So whenever a big boxing fight comes up, like we go to my uncle's house. And my uncle, he's very successful in like real estate. He's not a realtor, but he just buys and invests in real estate. Mm-hmm. But he's like proud of it. He's like, I'm the cheapest person in the world, and he is like.
All investors are, man.
To the point where he does not buy a fight. Like he goes the cheapest way, and that's why that's why he got money though.
Yeah.
you know. But every time we go to his fight, he's like, I'm not gonna pay for that shit. Like, I could just get it for free on my laptop. And so like we're there for like 30 minutes trying to get it streamed from the laptop.
Shit got a virus on it and shit.
Like,
This guy, that happened to this guy.
We almost missed the fight. I'm like, Theo, I'll pay for the fight. He's like, no, fuck that shit. And he's just trying
We're
to
gonna
do
figure
it.
this out.
Yeah. So for the most part, we really don't pay for fights because we always get them streamed. But when I pay for one, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, it used to be like where one person would pay for the fight and everybody would flock to that person's house, like usually a family member. Sometimes it was, I remember at my grandparents' house, it was one guy would buy the fight, put the TV in his garage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
and
where
then,
it's always at.
And then
I've been to parties like that.
Everybody in their neighborhood would be like, hey, let's get in. Or they'd be like $5 to get in, bro.
Abner's got a really, Abner the boxer, he's got a nice setup. He's got like a nice theater in his house. Like it's really dark and he's got a big ass like projector TV. Like I would want that shit in my house. So and everybody can come to my house and watch the fights. Like I don't mind it. That's it. I would be that guy where everybody comes to watch the fights.
So here's the big question, because you're right around that same area. Here's the big question: if you're into boxing in Mexico, right? Julio Cesar Chavez or De La Hoya? Who?
For sure. You know what? I respect De La Hoya for what he did in boxing during his time. He lost my respect as a fighter when he represented the U.S. in the Olympics and not Mexico. Because that to me, like, I'm very big on Mexican heritage. So that's why I've always liked Fernando Vargas more. Just because even though he lost to De La Hoya, like, I love his heart and he's like a true Mexican, like, you know, no matter what. And so that's what I don't like about De La Hoya. And then also De La Hoya, he just seems like the next Dom King for me. You know, right now. Yeah. And as far as like, was he a great boxer? For sure, but Julio Cesar Chavez, I mean, that's the best.
For Mexico, he is
another Mexican boxer that I really like is Salvador Sanchez.
Oh yeah,
he was a beast too.
Yeah, dude, he died way too young, right?
Way too young.
23 years old, dude, on top of his game, and he died behind a Mustang, right? Car accident on top of his game, dude.
Shame.
Yeah. Considered probably even better than Chavez at the time, right? I mean,
yeah, he just didn't get to live it out.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you think it is about Mexicans in boxing, bro? What do you think that it is that brings the? Because I mean, honestly, in boxing, it's right now. For a while, it was a lot of African Americans and a lot of Hispanics mostly, right? What do you think it is about Mexico that brings that out?
Yeah, as of right now, I think the two people that are dominating boxing are African Americans and Mexicans. I think as far as Mexicans, I think it's the fact that, you know, Mexicans just have a lot of pride. I mean, we're known for our pride.
Yeah.
You know, even when it came down to, like, you know, back in the time when the Aztecs and the Mayans were fighting against the Spanish, you know, a lot of the reasons, I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, when it came down to, like, battle, the Aztec warriors and the Mayans would beat the Spanish. The reason that the Spanish defeated us was because of disease, which weakened us, and then they were able to beat us. And so it just comes down to, I think that plays back into, like, our whole culture, like, who we are as people. We don't give up. We're, like, hard workers. We fight to our last breath, and we're extremely prideful. Like, these fighters, they rather die than to lose. And it goes to that. And boxing, when it comes down to it, it's all about heart, you know? And not just heart in the ring, but also outside of the ring when you're preparing for it. And I think that's what makes the Mexican fighter so successful in this industry.
What's your favorite boxer right now? Somebody that you like to watch that you're pumped about?
I definitely I like to watch all the guys that suit up, you know, just because I have a really good relationship with them, and I'm for sure always down to support them. And I do get excited watching Canelo fight. I think he's a great fighter. Who else? I'm excited for that Andy Ruiz fight.
Yeah.
See what happens there.
Yeah. So, and I guess you want to fill. I think Ryan knows about this guy, but to fill him in on it.
Yeah. So Andy Ruiz was that he came in like a month. He fought Anthony Joshua, was like one of the best heavyweights in the world, and there was already a fight scheduled for that. The other guy, I don't know what happened. If you think he failed the drug test.
Yeah.
A month before the fight, and so this guy Andy Ruiz came in, and he's like this Mexican, super out of shape. Like, I saw that. I didn't even watch that fight
because I didn't either.
Because I was like, man, this is like a disrespected boxing. Yeah. Like, this guy's gonna lose. And so I didn't watch the fight, and then it just so happens he won the fight. Yeah. And so he became the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. You know, for sure, I support him. I want him to win his next fight, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Who's he fighting?
Anthony Joshua.
Again?
The rematch.
Yeah, the
Oh
rematch,
shit, he's probably he's gonna come in.
In the Middle East. They're doing it in the Middle
Dubai.
East, in Dubai,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good.
There's gonna be an interesting fight, but I also, you know, I like watching Errol Spence a lot. Mikey Garcia.
Mike Garcia.
That's another good fighter.
Yeah.
Actually, they both fought recently.
Right. Yeah. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, for sure. I watched that one. That was like another thing. Like, I know Canelo just fought Kovalev, and he went up 2 weight divisions, which is exactly what Mikey Garcia did.
Right.
The only thing is that, you know, if Canelo would have lost against Kovalev, I would have given him shit for it because of the fact that Kovalev was not in his prime. You know, it's someone that was a champion before who I had a lot of respect before. So if he would have lost against Kovalev, I would have been like, bro, like, he's not even in his prime anymore.
Yeah.
Like, step it up.
Yeah, yeah.
But Mikey Garcia, he got a lot of shit from a lot of people because of the fact that he lost. But then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this guy went up 2 weight classes, and he didn't fight just any other boxer. He fought fucking Errol Spence, who's at his prime right now.
Top of his game. Yeah.
Yeah. So for you to go up 2 weight classes, to have the balls to do that,
Yeah.
still give a good fight and lose, like, you know, you deserve my respect for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And honestly speaking, I mean, Mikey's a much smaller guy.
Oh, way smaller. He's a small guy. Yeah.
Compared to Spence.
Yeah, super small,
Spence.
but he's a great fighter.
Yeah,
Mikey,
super
great
technical
fighter.
too, right?
Yeah,
Super
I love that
technical.
about him. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big change in boxing too, where I've seen like Canelo. So Julio Cesar Chavez was known. He's like the brawler, right?
Yeah.
He'll go after. He'll put pressure on you, and he'll just outpunch you pretty much until you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And, but the new generation of Mexican, well, they say Mexican style, but it's a lot more technical now.
It's a
right?
lot more technical. It's a lot more of like hit and don't get hit.
Right.
Which, man, I was amazed with Canelo's defense in the Daniel Jacobs fight. I mean, he was just making that guy miss left and right. That was insane. And not only was he making him miss, but he was landing too, which is like, that's exciting.
With the counters, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's beautiful boxing right there.
Hey, dude, it looked like Mayweather without the shoulder roll.
Exactly, yeah, right. And without the running, too. He didn't run as much.
Well, I mean, I think one of the greatest fights for him was Triple G, the second one.
The second one, yeah.
When he
for
stood his
sure.
ground.
So what do you think? What's your scorecard on that, on both fights?
So the first one he definitely lost. Canelo definitely lost. Yeah.
Man, I think I'm pretty good with the draw.
Yeah.
I think it was a draw.
Dude, I'll take it. I'm being Mexican. I'll take it, right? But the second one he definitely, without a doubt.
Yeah, he won the second one. Yeah,
without
for sure.
a doubt.
Take us down.
All right, Aiden. We're about to go to the pumpkin patch. Let's do this, Ryan.
You guys ready?
Let's do this.
Yeah,
the
dude.
4.
If you have bad battery, dude, that one. I have the 11, and the battery on it is like it lasts all day long.
But that's how it usually starts off, and then all of a sudden, like 6
No,
months later.
dude. I remember I had the X. And it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Dude.
But
I can
I
tell,
remember-
and I'm on it all the time.
Well, I can't upgrade for like another 2 months, so I have to fucking wait for that.
Shit. Do you used to keep up with phones and shit like that? You were in the business? You got boys that are in the business or no? No.
I didn't even know about phones, but when I was in the business,
No, you were just a good salesman.
I was just a good salesperson.
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Like,
good. What makes a good salesman?
I think what makes a good salesperson is someone that really gets to know their client or their customer and like really offer them the solution. You know, so that comes down with just business in general, right? People always tell me like, oh, I have this really good idea. I'm like, you don't need an idea. Like, you just need to find a problem and then find a solution for it, and then make sure that your solution is better than everybody else's. And that's the same thing when it comes to sales. when someone comes in to buy something from you, like what's the problem? Find a solution for it. Take care of them really good, and then not only will they buy something from you there, but because you took care of them so well, they're gonna send you other business, and that's how you grow your business.
Right. So treating customers like family almost, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that is the way, even in a saturated market, even with the internet and stuff like that, people will still pay for the experience. Look what
Oh yeah, for sure.
look what Starbucks just did
Yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
that huge spot downtown.
I don't know about waiting for an hour though outside of line.
They're saying it's an hour, or because it's new, right?
'cause
Everybody's
it's new.
yeah.
But yeah, for sure, like, definitely, like if it's a cool experience, to go in there, I the way I buy is definitely by experience. I go to the same restaurants and the same bars. I don't care if there's, I don't want to name any names because I don't want to give no bad publicity or anything. But there's places that people go to all the time, which yeah, they have great food and they have great drinks, but you gotta wait like a fucking hour just to get a table.
Yeah.
And then the service isn't even that great because it's so packed, And so it's just the hype, So I always go to like the places and the restaurants and the bars where like I sit down. Like I like going to like my neighborhood bar, Logan Bar. I sit down there. They bring me the beer that I already want, and they treat me like family. They're like, "Oh, what do you want, Rick?" Whatever. And that's how I like to buy, based on experience, not people.
Yeah. So do you want to like kind of give us like an idea of like what the Dapper experience is?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a 3 appointment process. So when you schedule an appointment with us, you schedule an initial consultation. This is for like new clients. So that consultation lasts about an hour and a half. And the reason why it's an hour and a half is because, like, again, the big crucial thing is to build a relationship with this client. So I spend like the first 15-30 minutes like really getting to know the person. Sometimes it takes longer. Like I've spent like 3 hours with a client just talking about random things, So I really get to know them. Get to know what's in the closet, what are some of the issues they have when they're trying to buy something off the rack. We give them a drink. So right now I think we carry mezcal, tequila, whiskey, beer, and water, and coffee too.
Good selection.
So obviously if you want some whiskey, some mezcal in your coffee in the morning, we can do that too. So we offer you a drink, and then we just get to talking exactly what brings you in and get to know the person. Once I get like a really good feel of who I'm working with, that's when I start offering like the fabrics, because I carry about 1,500 different fabrics. If I show you 1,500,
There's 1,500 different types of fabric.
Yeah.
What are some of the major like fabrics?
So it just really depends on where they come from. So you can get fabrics from like Italy, Spain, Australia, China. So it all varies in price.
Oh, okay.
So it really depends on the person's budget. I always want to sell the best. I don't try to sell you the most expensive suit. I try to sell you the right suit that's for you. And if it happens to be $3,000, then that's nah. But for the most part, like our average suit is about like $1,500. So it just depends on where it comes from, how it's manufactured. But if I show you all 1,500 fabrics, you're gonna be overwhelmed.
Right.
So based on what I get to know about you, then I make my recommendations and present you certain options, and then from that point you have a choice of choosing from there. Which typically I present probably like 15 to 20 different options. And for the most part, everybody's pretty happy with that. So you choose the fabric, then you get to personalize the inside of it. So like on the inside of this one, I have flowers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I was wearing this to a wedding. My girl was my date, so like just to be cute for her, I put her name on the inside.
Oh, there you go.
Is it stitched?
Yeah, it's stitched. Got me some
Nice.
brownie points.
Yeah.
She was happy about that.
Yeah, that means you took it serious.
Yeah. So you get to personalize. Once you choose the fabric, then you personalize that on the inside with like your own lining. You can get monograms on there. But also, once you choose all that material stuff, then you go over to design. The design portion of how it's cut from the outside. And so that's like one of the most important parts, because if you buy something off the rack, you're just buying whatever's off the rack and that's it. But everybody has a different body. So like you have a smaller frame. Your shoulders aren't that wide. So for you, like a very small lapel would make sense for you because it's proportionate to your body. Your shoulders are a little more squared off. So you probably want to do like a notch lapel so it evens it out. Now for you, you have a wider chest and a wider shoulder. So probably like a wider lapel will look better for you. And they're not as squared. They're more like kind of sloped like mine.
Lapel is
This part.
the flap.
Yeah, the little flap right
Okay.
here. And then for you, like yours are more like a little rounded off. So for you, like you would wear a peak lapel, which has like a point that goes up, and that helps bring up your shoulders a little bit more.
I didn't even know that they had different styles.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's different styles. And
does
different
this
widths.
fit me?
Oh, for sure. Oh,
Does
yeah.
it?
Yeah, I actually really like that outfit. That's an outfit that I would wear.
All right,
For sure,
thanks.
yeah.
I appreciate it because this is just something I like. Literally, just like it's one of those off the racks. I've never actually had a suit fitted for me.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of it is like, you know, for you, like to be honest, you wouldn't have a hard time finding something off the rack.
Okay.
So for you, it would just, I feel like what would be most important for you would be just to make it a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then expressing your individual style.
Right.
Right. So like personalizing and stuff like that. And then obviously, like for me, when I started first wearing suits, I would actually get my suits from like Zara. So I would spend like $300 on the suits, and then I would spend like an additional $250 in tailoring. But then I would wear them so much, and they would wear out so quickly that I was replacing my navy blue suit. This is one of my first navy blue suits that I got, probably 3 years ago, and it still like fits really, really good. And
That one's from Zara. Oh no, that's the custom.
This is custom.
Okay.
But it's how long it's lasted me, and it still looks really good.
Yeah.
But my Zara suits, like they would like run out like after like 6 months. You know, they would wear out from right here, or like the threads would start coming out and stuff. And so then I was like, you know, if I do the math, I was paying, you know, close to like $1,000, a little over $1,000 a year on a navy blue suit. Which a navy blue suit is like a classic essential you always need to have in your closet. So then, you know, why not spend $1,500 on a really good quality navy blue suit that's gonna last you 5+ years? It's gonna fit you better and it's personalized to you, versus spending $1,000 replacing 2 suits every single year and it doesn't even fit you that well and it's not personalized.
Well,
to you.
what's wearing out on the suits usually?
So what wears out on the suits for off the rack, it's gonna be this part right here, which is the chest piece right here.
Okay. What does it start like fading or?
No, it just, I don't know if you'll notice, but like on some suits it'll start bubbling up.
Oh shit.
You ever
No,
notice
I've never
bubbles?
seen it.
The reason being is because the quickest and cheapest way to manufacture a suit is to glue it. So this whole interface, this whole part on the inside is all glued. So over time with heat and everything, the glue, it comes off and it starts bubbling up. Okay. On our suits, we do like we do a full canvas on it. So a canvas is made out of horsehair, so it's a natural fiber. And even though it's an extra layer inside the suit that gives it a little more structure, and people are like, oh, I don't want to be hot. Well, it's a natural fiber, so it breathes really well. So it actually breathes a lot better than having glue, because with glue your suit's not gonna breathe at all.
Right.
That's why, like, if you wear like a Zara suit like in the middle of the summertime, you're gonna be sweating. Well, I sweat quite a bit, so I always try to go like with the lightest fabrics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once you choose out the fabrics, choose out the materials, and personalize your suit and talk about the design, then I measure you out. Now, the difference between what I would say my custom suits and everybody else's custom suits in Chicago is that I'm true custom. A lot of these guys, you know, they train salespeople that don't have that much knowledge, but they know how to sell, and they teach them how to measure. The measuring tape is not the most important thing when it comes to making a suit, because, again, I'm a size 42 on my chest. I have a slightly bigger stomach than someone else that works out a lot, right? I stand differently than that person, so I have like more of like a hunch versus someone that might be like a little more erect.
Yeah.
So all of those things you have to take into consideration, because if I make my suit for a person that's erect, you know, it's gonna be bunching up a lot from the back. So I gotta take into account like my posture and all that stuff. So a lot of these other places, they say they do custom, but they really don't. They do made to measure.
So what is the actual like definition of custom? I mean, like, so you're talking about like putting patterns on it and
Yeah. So there's 4 different levels of suits. There's off the rack suits, which is a suit that was mass produced with the measurements and designs predetermined by the designer. Okay. So it's not it's a size that's meant to fit everybody, right? Then there's made to measure, which is one of the most annoying ones that I have to deal with because
Why?
of the fact that it's a good product for the price, but I just hate that a lot of places use custom and bespoke as what they do, but it's actually made to measure. Made to measure is those predetermined measurements and sizes that these manufacturers have, they use the same template and then they just adjust it to your measurements so that it fits better. But it's not really taking into consideration your posture, like all these, your movement and all these different things. So what a lot of places do is they'll measure you out, they'll make the suit, put you in it, and then if they have to make adjustments to it, then they make the adjustments to it. Sometimes they're pretty big adjustments, which alter the foundation of the suit. Sometimes they're minor, but it just depends on the person. Then the third level is custom, which is what our bread and butter is. Custom means that we make a unique template for your body based on your posture, based on how you stand, based on your movement, based on your arm and shoulder position, all those things into consideration. And so it's a unique template that's made just for you. And so naturally it's going to fit better. And because it fits better, you're not going to make any awkward movements, which will over time affect the wear of the garment, right? So our fitting process is a little bit different. So when you come in for your initial consultation, I measure you out. 10 to 14 days after that, you come in for a bespoke fit. So a bespoke fit is going to be a garment that's not finished. It's basically kind of like a mock suit of what I would make for you. So based on that and how that fits, then I make any adjustments. And if you want to make like any last minute design adjustments, we can do so. Yeah, because we can still do that because we haven't touched your original suit. Once we finalize the adjustments that we need to make on that bespoke fit, then we actually make the suit. And so that's when you come in for the third appointment, which is the pickup.
Okay. Yeah, no, because so I've never had all, like you said, all those words get thrown around, like those off the rack ones and stuff like that. So
what's the fourth one, by the way?
Bespoke is going to be the fourth one. So bespoke is going to be, before it was known as a garment that kind of spoke for you. So we like to use the tagline, before he spoke, his suit bespoke. But a real certified suit that's bespoke has a minimum of 10,000 hand stitches. So that a bespoke suit has to be completely made by hand. That means no machine was used whatsoever.
Whoa.
So typically it goes through multiple fittings. So it's a longer process, but it's honestly like a prestigious and a status thing. So I honestly have one bespoke suit that I have made for myself. I don't really have to make bespoke suits because our custom suits are just as good. It's just a thing that it's not completely made by hand.
Have you had requests to get bespoke suits done?
Yeah, we definitely have a request to have bespoke suits.
So do you guys do them?
Yeah, we definitely do them.
So it's a special. You hand stitch it, right?
It's all handmade.
So who's hand stitching it for you?
So our tailors do it. So
okay.
Yeah, so depending on our custom garments, we'll have the garments, the fabric ordered precisely to the pattern, the template of the person that we body, and then we assemble it from there.
I'm wondering, what is something like this run?
So our bespoke suits start off at $3,000 and go up from there, depending on the fabric. Yeah, but our average custom suit, they start off at $1,200, go up to $2,500.
Yeah. Could you ball on a budget, man? Because this guy's got style. We can tell, right? But like a poor folk like me, man, you think I can?
Yeah, Ralphie's struggling. We tried to do we did a vlog of like a mall makeover.
Yeah.
But you should check out his
I'm going
his closet.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna videotape this of Ricardo going through an honest opinion though.
But
for sure.
But the tough part with this guy, because he's been hitting the gym hard, it's gonna be hard to get him into something because so how do you do that though? Because there's a lot of people that like even me. So like I was a little bit more. I had a little bit more weight on me. I recently just like went into I'd wear like mediums, and now I'm got a shirt the other day as like a small. But this guy is trying to lose a lot of weight. He has a goal for 190.
Yeah, 190.
So he wants to be fresh and shit, but he doesn't want to. You don't want to spend money on a suit right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So how does that work? Would he be able to get like a suit, and then when he reaches his goal, how does that work?
I have this conversation all the time with clients. It just really depends on your goal. Like if you're planning to lose an additional 20 pounds, then it's totally fine to get something made because that can be cut down. But if you're trying to lose 40, 50 pounds. Then at that point, I would just tell you hold off until you get to your desired weight, so that we can actually make something that's really, really fitted to you. But for our clients that buy suits, we offer a free recut within the first year because there's people that lose weight or gain weight, and so essentially with that free recut, if you lose weight, we just refit the suit so it can fit you again. If you gain weight, there's about 2 to 3 inches on the inside that we can let out. So in general, you can let it out and it still fits.
So before you go through my closet, man, I got a confession, man.
What's up?
I bought an Amazon suit, bro.
Dude, this guy did.
No way.
Wait, that's
man.
this jacket right here, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is this
No
one.
way.
Yeah.
Dude, so what's up with like Amazon jackets or like even H&M?
You know,
Like versus like not even like the boss suits, but like, you know, like Dapper suits. What would be the difference?
you know what?
Because I think this suit was probably like $5, right?
Get out of here.
It had to have been, dude.
Man,
It was probably
I don't
$5
know.
to make. So
The thing don't even fold. It's straight.
I got a quick story to tell you real quick. So I ordered this thing online, but I'm like, whatever, dude, I'll try it. I think it was like $150 or something like that.
Okay.
I'm like,
How'd you figure out the size on it?
They give you like general measurements. I'm like, dude, it's a 3-piece suit. I'm like, I'll try it, whatever.
Damn.
So
150
I have a
bucks
hard
for it?
time in the store by myself. You did it on a piece of paper online.
yeah, getting it probably straight from Taiwan. So I get it in, right, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wear this thing, no problem, right? Well, the pants, the length is not is not cut. I don't know how to sew.
Man, you know what? It's
They
just-
gave you one of those?
Yeah, they give you one of those.
You know what, man? Like, you know what? It just comes down to like one thing I really focus on is like cost per wear. You know, like yeah, I can have an H&M suit that will fit decent or look stylish or whatever. But honestly, after like 2 or 3 wears, like,
Dude,
it sucks. So at that point, if I pay $200 for a suit that I only wore 3 times,
Right.
what's my cost per wear there? Well,
Right.
I'm not gonna
Dude.
have like 70 something.
And none of those things even fit right, dude. Like
They
the
don't fit right.
pants, like
Nah.
like after you wash it, it's like you can't even wear them no more.
Yeah,
And-
so that's what I'm saying. Like your cost per wear is high, right?
Yeah.
But as far as like a navy suit, like a custom one, if you spend $1,200 on it, but you wear it all the time, what's your cost per wear then? You know,
right.
like,
No, it's for
is
sure.
it
It makes
$5
sense.
per wear, or is it
Right.
$70 per wear?
Right.
So are you really saving money? Are you like is that balling on a budget? You know?
Right. So going on this balling on a budget thing. So ideally, like because I've went through that, like buying the cheap shit or whatever, you
Yeah.
know, like clearance and stuff like that. Let's say starting over, if I was somebody that wanted to, start getting into, fashion or representing myself as a professional, maybe like a younger, Ryan going into real estate. What kind of advice would you give me? Like I'm trying to, because I don't want one suit, right? Because I'm going to like multiple, like on social media, I don't want them like, damn, this guy
Takes the same picture every
guy
day.
has the same damn suit, me, like, I want a couple suits and shit, and 35, what are they, 1,500, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I offer is like a package, right? Like you can get $1,200 suit, which is like a nice charcoal blue. Like the color you have on right now is perfect color. It's the same color as what I have on right now. Now, it might seem like a simple suit, right? Actually, I wouldn't even do the suit. I would do like a hop sack. A hop sack has like a nice weave to it, so it gives like a little bit of texture.
It's not like, is it like the wool looking ones kind of?
Almost, but it's
But
super
it's-
lightweight.
okay,
Yeah, super
okay.
lightweight. I mean, it just has a different texture to it. That's all it is. It's weaved differently. So by it having texture, a jacket like this is completely solid. You have to wear it as a full suit. One of my biggest pet peeves is seeing a suit jacket worn, like with a different suit pant. You can wear a suit jacket with like jeans because they're different textures. But when they're two of the same textures or the same solid and it's different color, it just looks like a mismatch. outfit.
Even so, like, okay, you have like a dark navy. You're talking about like a black like dress pant. But
Yeah,
what if it has like, what if you have a solid like this, but I have like maybe a pattern dress pants? That's still not.
Oh, pattern dress pant. Yeah, you can still do that. Yeah.
But it has to
Like-
be the same color.
No, you don't. You want them to complement each other.
Yeah.
So like, what you would probably want to do would probably be like if you have like a gray dress pant with like a blue navy window pane, and
Yeah.
then your jacket's navy, then it coordinates together.
Okay.
It falls.
All right.
But like a solid, like if you're wearing like a jean or a
For
corduroy,
sure.
you can definitely pull it off.
Yeah.
But in general, like the best way to do is like a hop sack material because the whole thing is textured. So you can essentially wear that as just a blazer. You can just wear the pants by themselves with like some sneakers and a t-shirt. You can even throw on a suit jacket with that outfit if you want. Or you can wear it as the business outfit, kind of like what I'm wearing right now. So there's different ways to be able to do it, right? The next thing to invest in would be like a solid foundation of shirts. So like 6 shirts. Your white, 2 whites, powder blue, lilac, black, and a light gray, which is what I have on right now. great foundation for 6 shirts, right? So those you can wear them with the same dark color suit, and every time you wear a different shirt with a different tie and pocket square combination, it looks like a different suit every single time.
Yeah.
You know, I've worn the same suit literally as a test for a whole week, wearing different things, and every single time it looked different. And if you're really balling on a budget, go to thrift stores for accessories. You find some badass ties and pocket squares for like 50 cents a piece. And then that's if you really want to ball on the budget. Like, I actually buy my accessories from like thrift stores because of the fact that I find like really cool pieces there, and they're so cheap. Yeah.
So you would invest on the actual foundation, and then just the suit and stuff like, or the tie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
and then later on, you add like different shit. Like you add like, if you want to do like a sport coat later on, and you save up for it, and you just it's investing in your wardrobe. But like, I'm really big on educating my clients and making sure whatever it is that they're making, that they're timeless and classic pieces. Because I made the mistake when I first got into custom. Again, I was like a kid in a candy shop. I wanted to get like, build your own fucking pizza. So I was throwing all the, I was going all out. But then I realized after like 6 months of having this wild ass custom suit, I didn't even want to wear it anymore. Yeah. So I just spent all this money. Custom suits, it's expensive for me too. I just spent all this money on a suit that I only wore for 6 months, and then now it's sitting in my mannequin at the shop because I don't want to wear it anymore. Whereas now I'm a lot more mature. Now it takes me about a month to come up with a suit design for myself because I'm that anal about it. That like, this suit, am I gonna wear it 5 years from now? Is it still gonna be like something socially acceptable to wear? Is it gonna be trendy? Is it ever gonna go out of style? And so that's the way I think about things now too, and that's why I try to educate my clients. Like, don't just buy this wild ass suit. Like, buy something you're gonna be able to wear 5 years from now. And so that's actually like being smart with your money.
So you have this winter collection coming out, right? I saw that.
Yeah, so we have like a lot of our new winter fabrics. So we do like a lot of heavy wools. A lot of them have different textures. They have different patterns and colors. So it's a little bit out of the ordinary. But you can make some really cool pieces with that. And then we have a lot of my favorite things to work on are tuxedos and winter coats. So right now it's like gala season, so a lot of people are doing getting black tie.
So you do jackets?
Yeah, winter coats. Oh, I love doing winter coats.
Dude, I need a winter coat.
Dude,
hook me up.
Yeah, I do like some awesome winter coats, and we do. We're also one of the. I consider there's a lot of great custom clothiers, but I feel like there's not anybody out there for women, and I think that we do the best women work.
I saw some of them pictures. Those suits were really nice.
Yeah, really
that
nice.
blue pinstripe was nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
And so like right now, like a lot of stuff that I've been posting are for women, but we just did like a badass women's coat. It's like a tan, and it's got like a velvet detail in the collar and the cuff. It's beautiful. Yeah. So I love working on winter coats and tuxedos.
No. So that winter collection, it has like so you have like some categories in there, like the executive, and then the one I stopped at, I think it was it called the date night or something like that. So I mean that's important. So like, when you think about like the Dapper Club and stuff like that, you think like first thing that comes to mind is tailored suit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you do other things besides just suits? Like if I wanted to, like, I got a date night, right? Like, so sometimes I'll go to like, a spot, like a Macy's, not, just general or whatever. And I'll, talk to somebody and I'll be like, this is what I'm trying to do. And then, they just kind of blow you off. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing also too about the Dapper Club experience. I like that because like how you say like, you spend like a whole hour or even like 3 hours like getting to know somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, damn, I've never had that, like. Yeah. So like with the date night and stuff like that, so you have like just like like business casual, because they did the thing with the tape measure. They put the jacket on me, and then they look at it, I'm like, how's it look? They're like, yeah, I think it looks good.
Where was this at?
It's at the men's warehouse.
Just called him out.
So I put the nah, dude, I'm not gonna really shit talk them because they're nice and shit, but they put the jacket on me, right? Uh-huh. And I'm like, how's it look? And they're like, yeah, it looks good. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I picked out a pair of pants to match it and stuff like that or whatever. I go try it on, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like it's a little bit big. They're like, all right, cool. And then, they'll come back with, something smaller. If they didn't have the size or whatever, they'll just, or like a different design and shit, and then they'll put it on. And I'm like, how's this look? Like, yeah, I like it. It's good. And it's like everything I put on, you think it looks good. I'm like, does the shoulders look big? Because I could see, I'm like, this is different. This is totally different. Yeah. Like I could see the shoulders are sticking out. I'm like, I ask, like, how are your sleeves supposed to sit on your arm? Is it supposed to hang a little bit, or is your undershirt supposed to show a tad bit or whatever?
Yeah.
And then they're just like, no, that looks about right. But then I'll get another one on, and it'll be like hanging off the arm, and I'm like, I don't know how this is supposed to look on me. So I don't, you know what I'm saying, like.
And then that's a big thing when it comes to like when you come to me, like, I definitely educate my clients on how it's supposed to fit. Whether you're gonna buy your next suit from me or not, at least you won't, you'll know how to shop for a suit later on. But for me, for a fact, I have to make sure that they look, spot on, that they look sharp, because as soon as they walk out the door, they're representing the Dapper Club.
Yeah.
So
that's
whether
important.
that's marketing for me, that's advertising for me. If you guys walk out with a suit that doesn't fit well, I want the reaction of, damn, bro, where'd you get your suit, versus, damn, bro, where'd you get your suit? 'Cause that's fucked up, and that's the difference, So that's why, even for a fact, like, when I give options to my clients, or they pick something that I don't think is gonna be a good match, like, I let them know. I'm like, bro, like, I know you really like this, but it's not a good match for you. Yeah. Like, not for you.
Do your boys hit you up like, hey, dude, I have a date, or I have a wedding, here's my do they hit you up for opinions or anything like that?
Not for I have clients that they, with the suits that they have bought from me, they'll ask me like, oh, what do you think I should wear with this? Like, how can I switch up the suit that I got from you? But as far as friends, friends, I've made a lot more close friends with my clients.
Really?
Yeah, it's just because I don't know if it's like I have a different.
You're working all the time. That's probably some of it. Right?
Yeah, that's probably why. But I have like friends that are really supportive. Like my close group. I know a lot of people. Like, I know you said I have like 4,500 followers, but I have like a very small group of friends that
real friends that support you.
Yeah, loyalty is a big thing for me.
Yeah,
for sure. And so like those my friends, yeah, for sure, they always hit me up about different. Not just on style, but just business advice too. I'm not the best businessman in the world,
well, you're doing something good.
I mean, I think I got a good vision, man, but it's definitely takes a lot of molding.
Yeah. I mean, you're what, 5 years now?
Yeah, 5 years now. My business partner, he's a big mentor for me. He's got his own successful company, and he's taught me a lot of things. And so whatever I learned from him, I try to apply it as much as I can. But then also, like, when I find friends that are in similar situations or whatever, then I share the same advice with them.
Dude, that's super important. I'm glad you brought that up, because it's a hard game, right?
For sure.
It's a hard game. And if you don't have people out there right next to you that are willing to encourage you and willing to
you can get lost real quick.
Support, like, which is exactly what he said. That he's like, this guy is down for me, dude. Whatever it is, he's willing to go down, in ashes with me, whatever. Yeah. That's important, especially in a game that's tough.
No, yeah, for sure. And I owe a lot to like a lot of my friends that, even when I was making the move to South Loop, they came by, helped me move the stuff, helped me set up the place, set up the mannequins and all that stuff. And, they don't get paid for it. And, they're just doing it just to help me out. Actually, to this day, my family, like, it's my family. I love my family and everything. But sometimes family can be kind of rough. Like, for a fact, my family did not believe in this when I first started. Actually, my family still hasn't even set foot into my new shop. I've been here since March, So it just goes to show, like, for sure I have, like, my friends that are very supportive, but then also friends that, are pretty distant. And, at the end of the day, I just surround myself a lot with my clients. My clients have been, not only do they bring business and help me put food on the table, but some of my clients have given me chances that a lot of people wouldn't have given. They believe in me and they continue to do business with me. So I appreciate, like, my close friends and my clients and, everything.
Man, you have a great story, I think. What do you see for yourself in Dapper Club here in the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, you're already over the hump. They say that most businesses die before they even hit 5 years, right? You're already there.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like we just recently hit like a pivotal point, like from an internal standpoint in the business, that I'm pretty excited for next year. In general, like winter is a pretty slow time for us, so just getting over this winter and then marching into the new full busy season. Now that I have my girlfriend came on board and she's helping with the business. She's like the director of operations and client services. I have 2 sales guys that are doing the sales now. So I think that next year is going to be a pretty big year for us. I'm really hoping to hit my goal. And as far as 5 years from now, like, shit, I don't know, man. The only thing I can think of is that hopefully Dapper Club's across the U.S. But, you know, if you would have asked me, like, where do I see Dapper Clubs 5 years ago, I would have never imagined to be here. You know, I don't know what I expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I guess just keep growing the business as much as possible. You know, I definitely want to be considered the best custom clothier in Chicago, and, you know, just move into different cities.
Yeah.
I operate a lot in LA. So I go there. I've been there probably like 4 times in the past year. So I do like a trunk show over there. I'll go stay at a hotel, post up that I'm doing a trunk show there, and just book appointments while I'm there. So I go there for like about 2 days, book up both days full.
Wow.
So that'll be like a nice.
What's a trunk show? You sell them out the trunk? Or?
No, so like I mean,
I know that's
that's basically what it is.
I know,
school,
but
yeah, they would
that's
show up with a
crazy.
trunk,
They still
but like now I bring like all my fabrics in a suitcase.
Right.
Yeah.
No. I know you're not over there, pulling the Dapper suits out and shit in a freaking. Well, you flew out there, so it'd be a rental, but. So like, is it like it's a venue? It's probably like a meetup thing, or
yeah. So as of right now, like I'm still building up my rep. You know, like I'm blessed to be able to have people that are, you know, in different cities that wanted to buy from us. But I'm not in that demand yet. I'm not like considered that level yet. So when I go to these places, I reach out to a lot of people, like my current clients that are there. They send me referrals. I book appointments, and so for the most part, I go to people's offices or their houses and do presentations there and do consultations there. But once I get to the point where people are seeking me a lot more in these different cities, then I just rent out like a suite at a hotel and they all come there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get to.
So you do home visits?
Yeah, home visits, but I typically have a minimum. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what is your typical client? You doing mostly weddings? Are you doing mostly businessmen, or what does your typical client look like?
Yeah, so a big market for us are weddings. That's probably the reason why like our busiest time of the year is between like March and September, because a lot of weddings will take place there. So yeah, I would probably say like a big market is for sure weddings. And then another big market is, of course, business people. So like attorneys, financial advisors, financial planners, you know, stockbrokers, realtors, lenders.
What does a typical businessman have? I mean, how many suits should you have? I know it depends on probably how much money you have, right? You can have a bunch of stuff that you don't wear, but I mean, ideally in an ideal closet, how many jackets how many suits are you looking?
I mean, for someone that's in business that just wants to represent themselves the right way, you know, you want to have three suits. You know, you want to have your charcoal gray suit, your light gray suit, and then your navy blue suit. Black should only be used if you're going to like a funeral. Hopefully people don't have to go to one, or if you're getting married, it's like a black tie event. So it's not like you don't need to have a black suit, but for sure light gray, charcoal gray, navy blue.
Damn, I didn't know that, dude. I think I wore my black suit out to some events that I wasn't supposed to.
I'm gonna have to throw
I think I did an open house in a black suit.
Yeah,
dude.
that's a no-go, bro. Like if you go out to the club,
They're probably like, "Damn, am I going to an open house or is there freaking yeah, shit?"
No, but if you wear it to like an evening dinner or like, you know, going out to the club or whatever, it's fine to do.
Yeah.
That. But like, yeah, for sure, like for anything business related during the day,
okay,
stay away from black.
All right.
So those are 3 suits you should have. You should have 2 blazers. You should have a navy blue blazer, either like a hopsack material or, you know, something that's has a little texture to it, and then like a fun blazer, something that you can throw on with any kind of fun outfit. And then the foundation for sure is 6 shirts, which are the colors that I mentioned before: 2 whites, powder blue, lilac, light gray, and black. and then just have about 10 different ties, you know.
Okay.
And then with that alone, you have a pretty good closet. Have like a nice brown shoe, a black shoe. In the custom world, we don't believe in belts, so what we do is we make pants without belt loops, and we just have these side adjustable tabs.
Yeah.
But if you're a belt guy, then just have black and brown belt.
It's not that I'm a belt guy, but I'm a what do they call them? Muffin tops?
Muffin top.
Love handles. So I have no choice. I need a belt, bro.
Yeah, you know. So in that case, you know, it just depends on the person, right? You know, so you need a belt, but if you want to do like another good option is like to do like suspenders. You know, it just looks a little more chic.
Dude. So does that represent like he's wearing a suit that fits him?
What?
Basically, because you said that in the suit world, you guys don't believe in.
Yeah, and most of the reason is because one, it's more comfortable. Like for me, like I have a little bit of belly, man. So like when I wear a belt, I can feel the belt buckle digging into my skin.
Yeah.
On top of that, like I have a lot of different shoes, you know. So for me to match my belt to every single shoe that I have, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I can't. That's too much work for me. And then I also fluctuate a lot in weight. So like I said, I have these side adjustable tabs on the side that allows me to loosen it up or tighten it up if I need to. And then in general, I just like a clean look. So I don't over accessorize. That's another pet peeve of mine. I'll see like it's cool to have a tie clip, you know, a pocket square, and I have some cufflinks on. That's about it. But I see people that throw in like flowers. They do this, they do that. It's cool to have a certain amount of accessories, but don't over accessorize. There is such thing as overdoing it. So I just like to have a clean look, very simple. And then so like with the belt, I feel like less bulky, and I just feel like it looks more cleaner.
Nice, man. So getting a little further, right? Because we were talking about this. Is it just a plain white shirt that you recommend, or should you a wife beater? What do you call those?
He's talking about So he will he's wearing a white undershirt right now, right? Like I told him, I'm like I'm not like super fashionable, but I just think it looks a bit tacky, right? I mean, like I told him, because the reason he does this because he's like, if you feel uncomfortable, right? Like you don't like the way the shirt feels,
the fabric on my skin.
So I mean, I told him, if you don't like it, then just wear a tank top or something underneath it.
Yeah, I mean, for the most case, you don't want to wear a crew neck underneath a dress shirt because it gives like more. It doesn't look clean, you know. So what I would recommend would probably be wearing like a deep V-neck. Or wear like a Dago under.
Yeah.
But if you don't like the fabric, you just gotta go to the Dapper Club, bro. Egyptian cotton, bamboo.
Dude, that's another thing.
Beautiful fabric.
Yeah.
So you guys have your own undershirt too?
No, we don't have any undershirts. We just do the dress shirts. But my dress shirts in general, I don't wear anything underneath them.
No. I meant not the undershirt. I meant your dress shirt.
Oh yeah, dress shirt. Yeah. For
the
sure.
fabric is comfortable.
Egyptian cotton is like my favorite, and also bamboo.
Really?
Bamboo is very nice, soft. Like I said, bro, I sweat a lot, so like I need light, something that breathes real nice, and that bamboo is.
I'm sold, man. I know he's gonna laugh at my at my closet, and I'm gonna have to go see him because I mean he's telling me all the right things. At this fabric,
it just it's different for everybody, right? Like I have people that want to move into like luxury real estate, so they're like, yo, like I need to have a suit that makes me look like money. Cool, I got you. I've worked with, the funniest thing, another thing that gave me the idea of like creating an experience was, you guys ever seen the movie Crazy Stupid Love?
No,
with Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell. Well, Steve Carell, like his wife cheats on him. He ends up getting divorced, and he dresses like the biggest suburban dad ever.
Yeah.
Skechers. I don't know, he was wearing New Balance with like an oversized striped polo, terrible.
Yeah.
And so Ryan Gosling sees this guy at the bar, and he's like, this guy's like a slob, So he goes up to him, and he's like, man, where did you lose your manhood? And he's like, oh, it's because my wife cheated. He's like, yeah, I know your wife cheated on you. You've been telling the whole bar.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you need to rediscover your manhood, and it all starts by the way you dress. And he's like, meet me at the mall tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So they go to the mall, and then he's like criticizing everything that he's wearing and choosing like a brand new outfit. You know, and so that I saw that whole montage in the movie, and I was like, man, that's like a cool ass job. Like I should do that. You know.
Yeah.
But I get guys like that. I get guys that are recently divorced. I've had guys that like literally their wives cheated on them or they left them because of whatever, and they're not good enough or whatever, and it definitely hurts them self-esteem. So I've got guys. I'm like, I look at their closet. I'm like, okay, like we need to redo this whole thing. Like how much are you willing to invest? And a lot of times some people will pay the full thing to reinvest in their whole wardrobe, or some people I just create a plan for them and we do it little by little. But I get those clients. I get clients that they just like to have the attention in the room. They like to be the best dressed. They like to, the minute they walk into the room, they want all eyes on them. And that's not a bad thing. There's people that just want that demeanor, and they want to be dressed a certain way. I've had a guy that literally got a suit for this one big deal he wanted to close, and he wanted to make sure he was wearing like a power suit, and everybody in the room took him serious. And so there's like different occasions that people will want to suit up for. I have a guy right now that he's big into the dating scene. So right now he just wants to make sure he looks fly for his dates. And it's cool, So like,
so what did you hook him up with?
I hooked him up with like a really nice like light gray patterned not light gray like a chocolate gray patterned sport coat. He likes to wear a lot of black, a lot of gray, and a lot of dark blues. And
so the black is cool for like the date night and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It's a suave look, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Because I was about to go home
like
and throw my black one
You
out.
can actually throw that on for a date. That's a really good outfit for a date. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. So like what I was getting to, like you don't rock a tie at a date night, right?
No,
like that's too much. Because where I'm getting is like, what's too much on a date night? Like first date. Like, what do you wear on your first date?
First date, I mean, it depends on the season, right? But right now, if you were wearing that, my go-to right now, I'm wearing a tie because we're doing a podcast.
For sure.
If I'm doing a presentation or I'm going to like a lawyer's office or whatever, I always wear a tie. But almost every day, you catch me just wearing a sweater, a turtleneck, or like a nice V-neck with a sport coat on.
Okay.
And that's kind of what you want to wear for a date night.
And that's considered business casual, right?
Business casual, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like for a date night right now, a really popular thing is like turtlenecks, the turtleneck sweaters, with a nice sport coat, some nice jeans or corduroys, and some nice boots or like lace-ups.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy gives me shit for my turtlenecks.
I tell him it looks like
trendy, dude.
Dude, I used to get shit
And
from
it
my
keeps you
turtlenecks
warm.
In freshman year. Everybody used to make fun of me because I was wearing turtlenecks.
you can't take any fashion advice from me. You should know better.
It depends. And it goes to show like it really depends on the person and their personality. Like I would not see you in a turtleneck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put you in a turtleneck. Yeah. But I would put you in like a crew.
That'd be funny. We should though.
Like a nice cashmere crew neck or a V-neck, not a deep one, just like a small V. I can see you. Now.
Yeah.
I don't see you in a turtleneck though.
Yeah. Like the whole like the date night thing. Like that's so like how you said like. To start a business and shit, you find out people's problems. I mean, like, you basically named every single problem that a lot of men have.
For sure, yeah.
And, it's like, even the podcast, like, it's like, what the hell do I wear to a podcast, Like, especially with the guy who, owns a custom, suit company, a legit, nice, business. And it's like... Well, I don't know. He's probably gonna wear a suit, or like I got this date with this chick. What do I wear? Is this too much? And then it's like that comes into another factor. I'm busy, right? I don't have time to be going through my closet and spending time and shit trying to pick something out. Like
that's why you build out a closet. That's why I help you build a closet. Like I said, you invest in the full closet, or you develop a plan to build up to it. But a man should have his closet be to the point where, like, I shouldn't even have to look into my closet and grab whatever I grab from there, and it'll all go well together.
Yeah,
That's how.
That's what I need, because
I
have I'll throw something on and then I'm like, damn, this shit doesn't even look good, or it's like, damn, this doesn't fit, or like I have and it's a headache because then you just start getting pissed off and you're like, I should not be spending this much time trying to find something.
No,
to
yeah,
wear.
of course not. And you should just in general just buy shit that you just feel comfortable and look good in it, and it goes with everything that you have. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know if you guys have. Do you guys have like a favorite shirt or like a favorite sweater that you've had for fucking years, but you won't get rid of it just because it's your favorite shirt?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
too many of them.
So imagine if all like your whole wardrobe was like that, and it lasted that long, and it made you feel good every single time you wear it. I still have a jacket that I bought. When the fuck did I buy it? 2013. It's like a leather jacket with like fur inside, almost like one of those like Tom Hardy like jackets. I love that jacket, and it's still I invested in good quality, and to this day I still wear it. So like guys should stop, or people just in general should stop buying their clothing depending on trends and fashion. Like that shit just goes out the window.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Who cares if like if next year I wear this suit and someone tells me like, oh, you wore that suit next year, like or last year, like who gives a fuck? Like, do you like how it looks?
Yeah.
Yes. No. Okay then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that's the way the mentality we should have. Like because not only that, but then at the same time we're like helping the environment too. Like recycled fashion, like shit that people just buy, wear like 2 or 3 times and then you're throwing it away. Like you're hurting the environment in general.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like I don't have that problem really with the like sticking with the trends and shit. My issue is I have the problem with quantity over like quality, right? Just because I'm a cheap ass dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like
get
let's
it.
be, but I'm starting to realize, just like you said, like when you said, don't you have like that one shirt or whatever? Like I thought, I'm like, yeah, I have those couple go-tos, but those are like the nice shirts, like the nicer ones that I spend money on.
Exactly.
And then it's like I find myself when I put the cheap pair of pants or something like that, and it's like
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. So it's like, I mean, I'm starting to realize that now, though. It's like, I could either have like 5 suits or whatever, but I don't feel like 100% comfortable in them or confident, or it doesn't fit right because it was on the clearance rack or some shit.
Yeah.
Or I could just buy the one and just be happy with it and slowly build it. I think that's better. I guess it's like a perception thing, right? Like especially if you're on social media and shit. Like if I was on this podcast and I was rocking the same thing, every single time they'd be like, damn, this guy his closet has one suit,
I guarantee if you wore the same suit with 5 different
Right.
shirt and tie combinations, they won't even notice.
No, they wouldn't, because like you said, you have the 3 suits. And, I realized that when you said, well, just, rock a different tie or, stuff like that, or like a different undershirt underneath, that they wouldn't even notice because, this like sometimes in pictures and shit, you can't even tell you could be like, is that a black or is that like
that
dark
one looks
blue?
really close to black.
Yeah, that's why it's such a great color because it's borderline black.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's a good color to go with.
I gotta give me one of
sure.
those. This guy.
there you
right
go,
here.
dude. We're gonna set up a date after he has a heart attack upstairs.
Just get the trash can so you can just start throwing them in there.
Nah, but like in general, like even for me, like jeans, like I was buying jeans like from Express because they fit pretty decent, but then they would wear out like in like 3 months, 4 months.
Jeans are the worst, dude.
Have you tried they're a little expensive, but it's worth it. Honestly, like it's worth it. Like I have one pair of these dark blue jeans and that's all I wear because that's all I need. They're called Page, yeah.
Is that they just do jeans, or is it an actual store?
I think they just do jeans. You find them at Nordstrom.
Okay.
But they're like a really good dye. Like they don't fade color easily, and they're very stretchy and comfortable. Nice and slim fit. The awesome jeans. Yeah.
How much are they?
At Nordstrom, you can find them for like $200. But if you go to Nordstrom Rack, you probably find it for like $100.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a pretty good deal.
All right.
And honestly, it's a
But
good
they last though,
investment.
right?
They last a long time, bro. And they're the best jeans I ever had. For sure. Hands
Love
down.
those.
Page. I'm gonna have to check some out.
Love those. There's a couple things that I wanted to go with them just real quick on what your predictions are for a certain amount of fights and then I'm trying to see what
This guy's he always tries talking to me about boxing and shit. I cannot hold a conversation with him, and I feel bad. It's like
I'm a hawk.
Dude.
I think it's the Mexican, bro. To be honest,
Dude, it
with
is
you.
the Mexican. Like all my Mexican friends and shit,
into
like
boxing?
girls that I would talk to, like that. They'd be like, "Hey, come over. My family's having a party." Always a
Watching
boxing
the
match.
fight, yeah.
Right? It's always in the garage.
Yep.
And then it's like they try talking to you about boxing. It's like, dog, I don't know really much about boxing.
And everybody knows about except for Mayweather, right? Mayweather said
Yeah.
Most people don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know shit about boxing, but I like to watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
I love to watch it.
Yeah.
Love to watch it. So there was a couple of fights that I wanted to go over real quick. We'll put this on the tape just to see how accurate you are. The Ruiz and what's his name?
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. What's going to happen? Are they going to go 12? Is it going to be the same outcome or what?
Honestly, I think he's gonna go to 8. As much as I love Mexico and I'm going for the Mexican fighter, Andy Ruiz, I think Anthony Joshua's gonna take it, knock out in the 8th round.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're picking a round?
Yeah.
When did Andy end it last? 7th or 8th?
I think he ended in like in the 8th round. Yeah, 8th round. Yeah.
That's gonna be big. I mean, dude.
So what's your outcome?
I think they go 12. Dude, they're both really light. They've lost a lot of weight, both of them.
Yeah.
They lost a ton of,
Especially Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, especially Andy. Andy looks like a different fighter. I don't know if it's gonna work for him. They were talking about how it was funny when he was fighting. They were saying that the body type might have helped him.
What gives him more power? It's more weight.
More weight to transfer, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
It's really about weight
But
transfer.
then like now he's a little bit faster now. So
Now he's faster. But then now Anthony is faster too now. Anthony Joshua's not
Yeah.
fast. He's lighter.
yeah.
He's built like a Greek god though, right?
But you know the thing, yeah. But I think Anthony Joshua, I think he's got a weak chin. That's what helped Andy Ruiz. So like, you know, who knows? I think it's gonna it's gonna be a knockout from either one of them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going for Ruiz, but
Yeah.
you know, just my logic, I guess, is going for
Staying
Joshua.
on heavyweight, the best heavyweight right now. What do you think it is? The Wilder, you have Fury, you have
Man, you know, like as far as like, it's because you know what the hard thing about heavyweights is that when you think of the heavyweight division, you think of Tyson, you think of Evander Holyfield, and none of those guys are at that level.
yeah.
You know, so I guess for right now, the best technical heavyweight is Anthony Joshua. The most exciting to watch is Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Because he just
Knockout.
throws those haymakers. But as far as like they still don't, they're not that level of like, you know,
Yeah.
Tyson or any other guys.
And then one other one that I wanted to, when this does happen,
Mm-hmm.
Spence and Bud Crawford. What do you think about that one?
I give it to Spence.
Spence.
Yeah. I think he's a really smart fighter.
Yeah.
But Crawford's a very strong fighter. He's got a lot of good power punches, but I think Errol Spence just has a technical aspect, and he has got a good chance. He can take hits.
Yeah.
He's just a smart fighter in general.
Awesome, man. A great time to watch boxing. Anything you wanna go over, Ryan, before we?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really, hit up on the boxing stuff like that, but I was debating on asking you this, but since it's not really considered boxing,
Yeah.
did you watch the Logan Paul and KSI?
my
Dude,
God.
I know, I
You know
know.
what? You know what? I thought it was. I gave him respect.
So you watched it, or
I
you
did
just
watch
did the
it.
highlights?
No, I watched it. I was curious. I was curious to see that, but
Do you think it's a disrespect to boxing?
I don't think it's a disrespect. I think it's a respect to boxing. Like, these guys actually went through training and worked their asses off to give a fight. Was it the greatest fight? No, but definitely not disrespect to boxing, you know.
Because I know it pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, those people, what doesn't piss people off nowadays?
Right.
It's true, bro.
You can't please everybody.
That's true.
Yeah, everything pisses people off nowadays, you know. Like, but I thought I give him respect for putting up with the training. You know, training for boxing is not an easy thing. I think it's the hardest sport to train for. And you can easily see that with Conor McGregor. You know, Conor McGregor trains UFC. He's a beast in the UFC. But he just got gassed out in boxing.
Yeah.
Just boxing is a different level.
Stamina, dude.
Stamina and mental. Like, it's, you know.
So I know you said that you played like with your brother and shit with like the socks and stuff like that. But have you
Yeah.
been into like and I know you like brawl and shit. But like,
Yeah.
have you been in like a real gloves and a cage, not a cage, but a ring?
No, not a ring. You know, that was one thing I've always wanted to do. Yeah, like actually when I started suiting up Adrian Granados, like I was going over to their gym quite often, the Garfield Park. boxing gym, and I was training out of there for like a little bit.
But never like a full match.
But never, no, I never got to that level. To do a full match.
Did you have in mind that you maybe might have done something like that?
I wish for sure. I just think that I think I need to start younger, and even to this day, like one of my goals last year was like to train boxing and at least get one fight in, and I think I'm still 28 years old. Like who knows?
Yeah, you can still.
At least like an amateur fight, man. Fuck it, whatever. Just at least I can have one fight in the ring.
That shit is. I was talking to this. Well, I was dating this girl, and I got invited to another one of them parties I was telling you about. This time it was a family friend that actually owned a boxing ring, kind of by our house. Like it was like a legit, like they would like practice and like teach kids how to box and shit.
Oh, nice.
And there was a fight. Don't ask me who the fight was. It was probably.
Canelo.
Yeah, probably. in the actual place and shit, and we were pre-gaming. I got a little buzz and shit like that, and I went in the boxing ring with we were messing around and shit, dude. And
how big were the gloves?
They were real gloves, dude. I don't know.
16 ounces?
Probably, yeah.
Did you get wrapped? Your hands wrapped or no?
No, they didn't, dude. We were drinking, dude. It was they were like, "Don't go up there," and I'm like, we were just messing around and shit. But yeah, dude. Like second round or whatever, I'm like huffing for like my breath, dude. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like that's serious, dude. Like
that's serious stuff, man. I remember in high school, one of my buddies, we would throw fights in his backyard all the time. Like we would invite a bunch of people and we'd do like little tournaments, throw on the gloves and like fight. It was good times.
Yeah. It probably didn't help that I had a buzz going.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No. But dude, maybe it helped me. Shit. I don't know. Yeah, right. But
how did it go, anyways?
Oh, I mean, he was a bigger dude. It wasn't I don't know. I was younger and I was smaller, and he was big, so he was probably like 20, 30 pounds bigger than me.
Yeah. And you know what? Even in boxing.
And he was hitting me hard, too. I'm like, dude.
In boxing makes a big difference,
But, I kept up with him, so. Yeah.
Well,
I told him, I was like, you're lucky I have a few drinks in me. And I told him we were going to do it, the next day and shit. But yeah, dude, I couldn't. You have to train for that shit, dude.
Oh, for sure, man. It's crazy.
Like, even, like, at the gym and shit, running on the treadmill, dude, I'm freaking, like, after 20 minutes, I'm done on that thing.
They have those UFC gyms now.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the same, right? You got to go to one of those old school Mexican. There's one here in Villa Park. I forget what it's called.
You got to go to, like, those rundown gyms, like...
Where they beat your ass, right? Like...
Yeah, the UFC gyms and, like, the title boxing gyms, like, those are, like... For people
the commercialized version, right?
Like
keep it safe.
Like
make sure that
there was a title boxing that opened up at Wicker Park by my old shop, and I walked in there and just like a bunch of like moms, that don't have shit to do during the day, so they sign up for boxing because that's what I feel about those places. I mean, they're cool to get a workout in, but like, it's not the same. You gotta go to like those places like Rocky, beat down gyms with like this old dude as a trainer.
Yeah. Chasing around chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're way over, bro. Would you be able to just let everybody know how to best get a hold of you, man?
Yeah, for sure. So our business Instagram is gonna be at Dapper Club Inc. And then my personal Instagram is at Mr.Dapperclub. We're big on IG, on Instagram, so you can find us on there. On LinkedIn, just use Ricardo Perez with the Dapper Club. Same thing with Facebook. So that's where they can find us. Our website is www.dapperclubinc.com.
Dope, man. Anything else, Ryan?
No,
dude,
man.
We're gonna have to have this guy back because we can easily go probably another hour.
Yeah, no. So I think, well, first I just want to, thank you for coming out here, and we really appreciate your time. You're, a business owner. Not just expertise in your craft, and but you're busy. You messaged us, saying that you had to fit somebody, like right before the podcast and stuff like that. So we really appreciate your time coming out here and giving us information and sharing your story. And we definitely need a number 2 because
for sure.
there's just so much stuff that I didn't even really
get to ask.
And it's cool, but like that's a perfect opportunity for now us to go out to you and really experience the Dapper Club, because you gave me information without even like me really needing an outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I didn't go out to you to get something, and you just already, brought me that value. So I kind of want to really, experience the, Dapper Club. And we're going to go see Ralphie's closet right now.
All right,
Sounds
cool,
like Ralphie's going to get the first.
This is gonna be embarrassing, but I'm gonna do it. But dude, I've learned a lot. I learned from him just listening to him, but listening to both of you guys, I've learned a ton.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to know, man. It's crazy,
Yeah, no, but it's really nice. And to know that you guys are in fashion, and hopefully you're gonna hook me up with a good, cool suit, and definitely have you back, man, for sure. We appreciate your time again.
No, thank you guys for having me.
All right, guys. So this has been episode number 13 with Ricardo Perez. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.